Hi, we are Team Tech Quickie, team number W7, and our topic is micro learning. I'm Carlos Murrieta.
I'm Spencer Brown.
I'm Everett Olson.
Brandon Glazier.
All right, and we're going to hop into our document.
So I'm doing the SRS for the Tech Quickies Group W7, and we have here our SRS for the micro learning platform, and we have here our revision history and the first page. Obviously, we're on the final version here, and everybody's names are included. We have our table of contents and our purpose, references, glossary. The description for what the video for this section wanted was mostly use case, so I will be focusing mostly on that because it seems like that's what's most important. We have our actors here and then each use case. So our use cases ended up being engage with course, create course, manage account, register for course, manage course, create lesson, manage lesson, search course, view profile, create account, and login authentication. And when we map these out, you're able to see which actors corresponds to which use case here in our use case model. So creators are creating content, learners are engaging with content, and subscriber is basically a way for creator and learner to match their account to our database and be able to create an account, change account settings, log in, view profiles, store information, all that kind of stuff. So this is the main use case model here. We have all of our are brief and that are now mostly, well defined, extended use case. For all of our use cases, we have the brief use cases. And then at the bottom here, we have the supplementary specification, requirements management process, and open issues. So this is pretty much the SRS, and those are pretty much our use cases.
I will be going over the UI prototype. There are two views. First, we'll be going over the view. First page is for a login. Pretty basic, so we can just pass that. Here's the home page. At the top, there's a profile button, which brings to the profile page, which maps to our view profile use case. Here, users can see their basic information as well as the points they've earned from completing courses. There's also a search at the top. This maps up with our search for course use case. Just lets users find the courses that they're interested in taking. Clicking on a course brings us to the page that a learner will see they've signed up for a course and click on it. So clicking on a lesson, we see the sorts of things that learners will do once they've started lessons. And this maps up with our engage with course piece. And so that's all the things we have for the learner view. So now the creator view. Creator view also has a login and they have a profile at the top. And right now, if the creator clicks on a course, they'll get the same view as learners do, which just lets them see what their course will look like when someone's actually taking it. But clicking on this Manage Courses button will make it so that they can manage their course. First, we'll click on the Create Course button, and here can go on to the online editor, and this all maps up with our Create Course use case. This just gives an easy way for creators to make the sorts of content that they want to make. And here you can add lessons or change the contents of those lessons. Here's the online editor for making a new lesson. So we're now in the Manage Courses view. So clicking on the course will get us to the same kind of page that we got creating the course, except now we're at a content that's already there, or we can also add new content which maps up with our manage course, manage lesson use cases. So we click on all this stuff, get the same stuff as last time. And that's it for the UI prototype.
This is our requirements analysis document. I'm going to go through this real quickly with you. So we have the domain model. This is showing that the owner and investors provides paid creator services for both the creator and the learner. We have several use case realization diagrams. I'm just going to go through with you. We have an analysis class model, and this one's all encompassing of the entire system as we know it. So we have the subscriber, and the learner and creator come from the subscriber actor, and each one has a different boundary that interacts with their system. And we have creator controllers, controllers that work with the subscriber, and then controllers that work with the learner. And then these controllers interact with 3 high-level entities: lesson, course, and subscriber entity. We then have our behavior model, which in this case is our use case diagram. And it's similar, as we have the same actors here. And then we have the different use cases. We do have an extends as well. And then we have 3 activity diagrams showing our flow of the system. We have an engage with course activity diagram. We have a create course activity diagram and a register for course activity diagram. We picked these as they were the ones that set our system apart from most. We didn't decide to do the login activity diagrams and ones that were more basic, as it didn't really seem necessary. We also did the our user interface diagram, doing a prototype with Figma. We have one for the creator view and one for the learner view. Just click those links to view them. And here's some screenshots from that. We have profile view for creators and learners. Here's an example lesson screen. And here's a homepage for our creators. All right, well, thank you for watching.
For the critical vision elements for our project, it mainly came from customer elicitation, which most of it is here and in the business rules and in another document, which I will get to as well. But the main goal of this project was to create a micro-learning platform that can host individuals to create their own lessons and courses for other people to take. That way it's all in one centralized location, so it's not like spread out through everywhere like most people have in YouTube. So people during a quarantine like we're in now can have an easy access to learn a new skill. And that's essentially the summed up version of it, but that mainly came into building a supplementary requirements and business rules, which is the customer wants it's very scalable and they want it on as many platforms as they can get it on. And they also, very important to them, was they wanted tiered pricing. They wanted it to be on any platform. They wanted to make money quickly, so in around 5 years, and they want to make it so that people can transition from like posting content from YouTube from just making videos on YouTube where it just piles up and gets hard to see, onto a counter platforms for people to use. To wrap up the video, I'll just go over the shape of our requirements and lessons we learned while doing this project. The shape of our requirements, based on our final requirements evaluation, is we thought our requirements for the project were fairly good and well defined, as it laid out what the initial goal of the idea and concept that we were given was, and we felt like the requirements that we had would help push the project in the correct direction if we actually had to create it. For the lessons we learned, I think for the most part, we all agree that it would have been nice to meet with the customer more and probably have more time with them to make sure we got exactly what they wanted and to make sure we had everything right, because it probably would have been nice to, besides having the elicitation, probably having more elicitation meetings, but also meeting up with them and just saying, hey, do these requirements look good to you? Do they meet what you need? Or because they might come back and say, no, that's not what we meant when we said that, and that would be nice to know. I think something else with just the project in general is I think as a group we learned that we should have probably asked more clarifying questions on the critiques we were given, as some of them we did not know until the second time we received them, and so we sometimes made changes that were not what was desired for the project. But overall, this was a fun project we all got to do together. It was fun learning how to do all the documents and using tools like Miro and whatnot to all work together to figure out how we want things set up. And yeah, it's been a fun project.